How to create wealth predictably, especially for the younger generation, 18 to 34-year-old crowd. It's tougher today. In some ways, it's much tougher today to create a living. Even if you have a job, 60% of jobs are allowing you to become homeless. You're creating credit card debt. What comes after credit card debt? At 26, 22 to 27% interest rate. If you're creating credit card debt and you have a full-time job, what comes after that, right? If that debt keeps increasing, 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 what comes after that? You'd be surprised how many people live in their cars that have full-time jobs. These are, nurses, pharmacists, plumbers, electricians, painters. People that have full-time jobs can't afford to live in major cities anymore, and to go outside of the city, you still have to travel in. So it doesn't make sense. That's why a lot of people are living in their cars trying to save money so they can get an apartment or a place to live. But how do you go beyond that? How do you go from living in your car to creating wealth, especially generational wealth? Well, I've tried real estate. I've tried a number of different things. In fact, at one point we were flipping 12 houses a month. It was too slow. It requires too much capital to invest in real estate. Stocks and bonds, it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble. Investing in the S&P 500, yeah, you can do that. It takes a lot of time. It'll take, 10 or 20 years for you to build generational wealth, but it can be done, right? But what is the best way to do it? Well, the only way, and by the way, I've invested in a lot of different things: cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds, real estate. I've invested in a lot of things. But the only thing that I consistently invest in now is small businesses, right? You can take $50,000 from a line of credit and start a well-designed business with a great mentor. Start from $0 and grow that business to $5 million in 3 to 4 to 5 years, right? And you're making, let's say, you're only making 10% net profit. You're making $500,000 each year net profit. So you took $50,000 to create $500,000 each and every year. Show me how you can do that in real estate, right? You can't. You can't, not consistently. Yes, every once in a while you find a great deal, but it might take you several years to find a great deal, and you might make that kind of money. But consistently, I'm talking about consistently, no matter what the economy is doing, if you design a business, it's the only way to truly control your future, right? The government has very little control over your company. You can't be fired. You can't be laid off. It's truly the only way to control your future. Yeah, but Leo, I want the security of a regular paycheck. Yes, unless you get laid off, or unless you get fired. How many people are looking for jobs? They go from one job to another job to another job. The loyalty that we used to have in my generation, where you stuck with a company for 30, 40 years, you got that pension, you got the gold watch, and you were sent off to retirement to die peacefully, right? That no longer happens, right? There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty, right? If you die, you're replaced within a couple of days. Chances are you're somebody waiting for your job now, and because you have a high salary, they're looking to replace you, and you might be laid off next week. So the only sure way to control your future is by starting a service-based business. I'm not talking about, fulfillment by Amazon or storage places or laundromats or restaurants or coffee shops or gas stations or anything like that. I'm not talking about any of those things, because none of those create quality of life. I'm talking about, starting, let's say, a bookkeeping business where you can work from your house, your cottage, or your sailboat while you invest time with your kids or grandkids, right? I don't care if you're 65 or 75 or 18, right? You can start a business because you are not doing the bookkeeping. You are hiring people, you are hiring experts to do that. All you're doing is creating relationships with people that need your service. And the people that need your services are the plumbers, the electricians, the contractors, the manufacturing companies, the travel and tourism industry, any type of industry, but I would suggest you specialize. And by the way, I mentioned $500,000 before. That was at 10%. Bookkeeping's at 30%. 30%. And as long as you have, reliable internet connection at your sailboat, you can work from your sailboat or your vacation home in Europe or your cottage, as long as you have reliable internet connection or your phone works. That's going to be expensive, but it can be done, right? If your internet goes down. But if you have a great team, you don't need to be in constant contact with them, because as long as they're producing their goals, their daily and weekly and monthly goals, you just let them do their work, right? You create a vision for them, you empower them, you create a profit sharing plan, you create, culture where they are engaged in their job and they're looking forward to advancement within the company. Now you've got a $5 million business at 30%. Tell me other businesses that you're going to get 30% predictably from your business. And also, what other industries do you have clients for life, right? Painting business? No. Once you paint their house, they're painted for 10 years. They're not going to need you again. Yes, you're going to get referrals, but that's not enough to grow a business to $5 or $10 million, right? What other business do you have that, is predictable income? The client signs a contract for 2 years and that contract is valid because they've been in business for 10, 20, 30 years. And now you can use those contracts to sell your business. The goal is always an exit strategy. The goal is not to stick with a company for 20 or 30 years. The goal is exit, right? Exit. Capitalize, invest that capital into something else. If you want to invest part of it in real estate, go ahead. But I would keep investing in businesses or keep growing your business to 20 million. Join us every day on our live events or group mentoring events. Learn how to design and build a business. It's truly the only way that I know of. Maybe you're smarter than I am, but it's the only way that I know of to control your future, right? We are going live in a few minutes to talk about strategies for growing your business. I posted a video this morning talking about how if you're getting a salary, you're paying 40 to 60% employment tax, right? What if you didn't get a salary? What if your expenses were covered by something else, by a loan instead of a paycheck? Because as soon as you either write yourself a paycheck, or you write an employee a paycheck, or you receive a paycheck from your employer, 40 or 60% of that bite is already gone, right? It's already gone, right? So join us. Ask your questions, figure out how we can help you design a better quality of life where you can spend some more time, playing pickleball, beach volleyball, playing golf, whatever your passions are, spending time with your grandchildren, but you should be designing your life. If you're not taking that time to design your life, I don't know what to tell you. Post your questions, comments below. We'll talk again soon. Take care.